Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Echoes of Light and Night. I'm your host, Joshua, and today we are going to be reading Chapter 4 of Nick Cutter's The Troop. As always, this book contains instances of extreme violence against humans and animals. If you are not okay with this, please do not continue watching this video. As another aside, I will be censoring any slurs that are used, but other than that, I will be reading this book exactly as it is written by the author. Without further ado, let's get into Chapter 4 of Nick Cutter's The Troop. You guys ever hear about the Gurkhas? Ephraim Elliott's face hovered in the flashlight's glow like the disembodied head of a sideshow oracle. The other boys lay propped up on their elbows, listening intently. They are these elite soldiers right from Nepal. Little guys, 5 foot tall. Munchkins, practically. Crazy buggers. They're trained from the time they're infants to do one thing and do it well. To kill. The Gurkhas are crack shots with a rifle. They can peg the pollen off a bumblebee's ass at 100 yards. They are masters with kirkies, too. A long curved knife they keep wicked sharp. They can split a human hair with their knives, split it into thirds. "Seriously, Eve?" said Newton Thornton, his pillow-messed hair sticking up in tufts. "You bet," Ephraim said soberly. What hardly anyone knows is that a plane load of Gurkha warriors went down off the coast. They were on their way home after a very hairy mission. Trench warfare, heads spiked on sticks, that sort of thing. These guys were driven half crazy by the blood, right? The government of Nepal would probably have locked them up in a funny farm so they wouldn't kill and maim anybody. But they never made it home. The plane went down over the ocean right around here. Shelley Longpre listened intently. The usual gray of his eyes, which most often resembled chunks of dirty ice, were now hard and bright with interest. Ephraim said, "They could even be here. This island. It's isolated, quiet. Hardly anyone comes to Falstaff Island except the odd fishermen or, well, us. The scouts of Troop 52. Max Kirkwood raised 3 fingers of his right hand and recited solemnly, "I promise to do my best, to do my duty to God, the Queen, and to obey the laws of the Eagle Scout Troop." "Their bodies were never found," Ephraim said, smiling at Max. "If they're still alive, they'll be total batshit madmen by now. But even if they were here, stalking this island, there's a way to save yourself. The Gurkhas attack at night, okay? Always. They sneak into your cabin, silent as death. They hover over your bed and fill your bootlaces. If they're laced over and under," Ephraim threw his thumb across his throat, a slitting motion. "But if they're laced straight across, the same way the Gurkhas lace them, they'll let you live." He yawned. "Well, good night, guys." His flashlight snapped off. Soon afterward, a body thumped onto the floor. Ephraim's flashlight pinned Newton in a halo of stark light, lying in a heap beside his boots. Ephraim said, "I knew you'd crack, Newt." Newton sat up awkwardly, rubbing his knees. His skin was even pinker than usual in the flashlight's glow. Piglet pink. "Geez, well," Newton bowed his head, rubbing his eye sockets. "You ought to be ashamed, Eve, telling that creepy stuff." Kent Jenks cried, "Newt, you bedwetter." Shelley merely watched with an owlish expression, large yellow-tinted eyes staring from the milky oval of his face, not smiling or laughing with the others. A blank test pattern of a face, expressive of nothing much at all. "Boys, hey, come on now," Scoutmaster Tim said, stepping into the room. "It's all fun and games until someone falls out of bed. Let's say we call it quits for the night, okay? Newton stood, still rubbing his eyes, and heaved his bulk into the top bunk, but not before checking his bootlaces to make sure they were laced straight across. Go to sleep, fellas, Scoutmaster Tim said. Newton thought he could glimpse the signs of strain on the Scoutmaster's face. A vague, panicked cast to his eyes. Big day tomorrow. The door shut. Wind raced over the sea, howling around the cabin's edges. The logs groaned a melancholy note like the hull of an old Spanish galleon buffeted by ocean waves. The boys lay in their bunks, breathing heavily. Ephraim whispered, "Gurkha's gonna get you, Newt." And that is Chapter 4 of The Troop by Nick Cutter. In the next video, I will be reading Chapter 5. And as always, I hope to see you there.